In a world that often celebrates positivity, it's easy to be drawn to those who radiate good vibes. Their smiles are infectious, their optimism seems boundless. But what if those good vibes aren't all they seem? What if, beneath the surface, there's a darker truth? Today, we're shining a light on a hidden danger: toxic positivity. It's the insistence that everything must always be positive, even when it's not. It's the dismissal of genuine emotions, the pressure to put on a happy face, no matter what you're going through. And it can be incredibly harmful. This isn't about raining on anyone's parade. It's about recognizing that true strength comes from accepting all of life's experiences, the good and the bad. In this video, we'll uncover the subtle signs of toxic positivity, and show you how to protect yourself from those who might use good vibes to manipulate or control. It's time to break free from the illusion, and find true, authentic connections. Red flag 1, forced positivity. Imagine a friend who's just lost their job. They're understandably upset, maybe even a bit scared about the future. But instead of offering a listening ear or a comforting hug, you're met with a barrage of forced positivity. Don't worry, they say, something better will come along. Everything happens for a reason. While these sentiments might be well-intentioned, they can feel dismissive and invalidating. Forced positivity is like trying to paint a rainbow over a stormy sky. It doesn't make the storm go away, it just hides it from view. People who engage in forced positivity often do so because they're uncomfortable with negative emotions, both their own and others. They might believe that by focusing solely on the positive, they can somehow bring good things into existence. Or they might simply not know how to deal with difficult feelings in a healthy way. But the truth is, life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. We all experience sadness, anger, fear, and disappointment. And these emotions are just as valid and important as happiness and joy. When someone constantly pushes positivity on you, it can make you feel like your feelings aren't legitimate. It can also create a sense of isolation, as if you're the only one who's struggling. Forced positivity can also be a way to avoid dealing with real problems. If someone is always telling you to look on the bright side, they might not be willing to help you actually address the challenges you're facing. It's important to recall that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or scared. And it's okay to express those emotions to the people you trust. If someone in your life is constantly forcing positivity on you, try to gently explain how their words make you feel. You might say something like, "I appreciate your optimism, but right now I just need someone to listen." If they're truly a good friend, they'll respect your boundaries and offer you the support you need, even if it means sitting with you in your sadness for a while. Red flag 2, shaming negativity. Have you ever shared a worry or concern with someone, only to be told, "Don't be so negative"? Or maybe you've expressed a feeling of sadness, only to be met with, "Just smile. It'll all be okay." These are examples of shaming negativity, another common tactic used by people with toxic positivity. They believe that negative emotions are bad or wrong, and they'll often try to make you feel guilty or ashamed for experiencing them. This can be incredibly damaging, as it sends the message that your feelings aren't valid. It can also lead to internalized shame, where you start to believe that there's something wrong with you for not being constantly positive. Shaming negativity can also prevent you from seeking help when you need it. If you're afraid of being judged or criticized for expressing your struggles, you might be less likely to open up to others or seek professional support. It's important to recall that all emotions are normal and natural. There's no such thing as a bad emotion. And it's perfectly healthy to experience a full range of feelings, including sadness, anger, and fear. If someone in your life is shaming you for expressing negativity, try to set boundaries with them. You might say something like, "I'm allowed to feel how I feel, and I don't appreciate you judging me for it." If they continue to invalidate your emotions, it might be necessary to limit your contact with them or even end the relationship altogether. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support you and accept you for who you are, even when you're not feeling your best. Red flag 3, lack of empathy. True empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of another. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and feeling what they feel, even if just for a moment. But those who cling to toxic positivity often lack this crucial quality. They may offer platitudes or generic reassurances instead of truly listening and trying to understand your perspective. Imagine confiding in a friend about a difficult breakup. A truly empathetic response might involve acknowledging your pain, offering a comforting presence, or sharing a similar experience they've had. But someone with toxic positivity might simply say, "Don't worry, you'll find someone better," or "Just focus on the positive." While these statements might be meant to be encouraging, they can feel dismissive and minimizing. They fail to acknowledge the depth of your emotions and the complexity of your situation. This lack of empathy can leave you feeling unheard and unsupported. It can also create a sense of distance in the relationship, as you may feel like you can't truly be yourself or share your struggles with this person. If you find that someone in your life consistently responds to your emotional experiences with platitudes or generic reassurances, it might be a sign that they lack empathy. It's important to seek out relationships with people who can truly listen and understand, even when things aren't going perfectly. Red flag 4, hidden agenda. Sometimes, people use good vibes as a mask to hide their true intentions. They may shower you with compliments, offer constant support, or always seem to be available when you need them. But beneath the surface, they might have a hidden agenda. This agenda could be anything from wanting to control you to using you for their own benefit. They might use their good vibes to gain your trust and then manipulate you into doing things you wouldn't normally do. Or they might simply be using you for their own emotional needs, without any real concern for your well-being. It's important to be aware of this red flag, especially in new relationships. If someone seems too good to be true, they probably are. Pay attention to their actions, not just their words. Do they consistently respect your boundaries? Do they support your goals and dreams, or do they try to steer you in a direction that benefits them? If you suspect that someone has a hidden agenda, it's important to trust your gut. Don't be afraid to set boundaries or distance yourself from the relationship if necessary. Red flag 5, gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation that involves making someone question their own sanity or reality. It's a subtle but insidious tactic that can leave you feeling confused, disoriented, and even doubting your own memories. People who engage in toxic positivity can sometimes use gaslighting to maintain control. They might dismiss your concerns as overreacting or being too sensitive. They might tell you that you're imagining things or that you're remembering it wrong. This can be incredibly damaging, as it can erode your self-confidence and make you doubt your own perceptions. It can also make it difficult to leave the relationship, as you may start to believe that you're the one who's at fault. If you find yourself constantly questioning your own reality or feeling like you're going crazy, it's important to seek support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist. You deserve to be in relationships where your feelings and experiences are validated and respected. Red flag 6, superficial relationships. While good vibes can initially attract us to someone, genuine connections require more than just surface-level positivity. People who prioritize good vibes only at all costs often struggle to form deep and meaningful relationships. They might avoid discussing any difficult or challenging topics, fearing it might disrupt the positive atmosphere. They might shy away from expressing vulnerability or sharing their own struggles, maintaining a facade of perfection. While this can create a pleasant and seemingly effortless dynamic, it prevents the relationship from growing beyond a superficial level. True intimacy requires authenticity and the willingness to be seen, flaws and all. It involves sharing both the joys and sorrows of life, supporting each other through challenges, and celebrating each other's victories. When someone consistently avoids vulnerability or difficult conversations, it can leave you feeling like you can't truly connect with them on a deeper level. If you find that your relationships with someone feel surface level or one-sided, it might be a sign that they're prioritizing good vibes over genuine connection. It's important to seek out relationships with people who are willing to be real with you, even when it's not always easy or comfortable. Red flag 7. Avoiding conflict. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship. It arises when there are differences in opinions, needs, or expectations. Healthy relationships involve addressing conflict directly and honestly, finding compromises, and working towards solutions. However, people who cling to toxic positivity often have an aversion to conflict. They might see any disagreement as a threat to the positive atmosphere they're trying to maintain. They might avoid difficult conversations, brush off concerns, or even pretend that problems don't exist. While this might create a temporary sense of peace, it can lead to unresolved issues festering beneath the surface. Over time, these unaddressed conflicts can erode trust, create resentment, and ultimately damage the relationship. It's important to recall that conflict doesn't have to be destructive. When handled with respect and open communication, it can actually strengthen a relationship by fostering understanding and growth. If you find that someone consistently avoids conflict or dismisses your concerns, it might be a sign that they're prioritizing good vibes over the health of the relationship. Red flag 8. Guilt tripping. Toxic positivity can sometimes manifest as a subtle form of manipulation, guilt tripping. When you express negative emotions or concerns, someone with toxic positivity might try to make you feel guilty for not conforming to their desired upbeat atmosphere. They might say things like, "I'm just trying to be positive, why do you have to bring everyone down?" or "You're ruining the mood with your negativity." These statements can make you feel like you're doing something wrong for simply expressing your true feelings. It can also create a sense of obligation to suppress your emotions in order to please them. Guilt tripping can be a powerful tool for controlling others. It can make you feel like you need to apologize for having normal human emotions, and it can prevent you from asserting your needs or boundaries. If you find that someone consistently makes you feel guilty for expressing your emotions, it's important to recognize this as a red flag. You have a right to your feelings, and you shouldn't have to apologize for them. Red flag 9. Superficial self-improvement. While genuine self-improvement is a positive pursuit, toxic positivity can sometimes lead to a superficial focus on self-improvement. This can manifest as an obsession with positive affirmations, gratitude lists, or other self-help practices without addressing underlying issues or challenges. It's important to recall that true growth and healing often involve acknowledging and working through difficult emotions and experiences. Simply repeating positive mantras or focusing solely on gratitude might provide temporary relief, but it won't address the root causes of any struggles you might be facing. If you find that someone is constantly pushing self-improvement techniques on you without acknowledging the complexities of life, it might be a sign of toxic positivity. True self-improvement involves accepting all aspects of yourself, both the light and the shadow. In a world that often pressures us to be constantly positive, it's crucial to recall that true strength lies in accepting the full spectrum of human emotions. Toxic positivity, with its forced smiles and dismissive platitudes, can be just as harmful as outright negativity. By recognizing these 9 red flags, you can protect yourself from those who might use good vibes to manipulate or control. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support your full range of emotions and experiences, not just the ones that fit their agenda. True connection and growth come from authenticity and vulnerability, not from hiding behind a mask of forced positivity. So let's accept the full spectrum of life, with all its ups and downs, and find true, meaningful connections along the way. If you found this video helpful in understanding the dangers of toxic positivity, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more insights on navigating the complexities of human relationships.